Welcome back. News 80 is your local election headquarters. Some research analysts on the front lines of this year's election say there is always a risk of tension at the polls, and it can come in the form of something known as voter intimidation. Erica Koss reports.
Research panelists we talked to today say this election year 2020 has been polarizing between parties, and they're keeping an eye on some states that may be subject to voter suppression and intimidation.
So what is voter intimidation? Researchers say it can range from outright violence to misinformation that prevents people from voting. For some parts of the country, even militia groups are concerned.
It's been mostly sporadic, and most of what we see is organized in a pretty ad hoc manner. Most of it's smaller groups who are probably organized online on places like Facebook. And that's what I think we can expect to see as we head towards Election Day.
Miller says in those states where open carry is allowed at the polls, if there is someone bringing attention to their gun and using it as a threat, report it right away.
In the vast majority of states, it is not illegal to have a gun at a polling place. It is illegal to use it to intimidate someone.
Panelists say other forms of voter intimidation include any barriers people may face to get to the polls.
Some states actually made it easier for people to vote because of the pandemic, and that ease included expanding early voting or loosening some of the tighter restrictions with respect to vote by mail ballots, and some states went in the opposite direction.
She says an example of this is when some states ask voters to have a ballot be notarized, something harder to do in a pandemic. For some surrounding counties, Board of Election commissioners say voter intimidation has not been a problem at all and is not expected on Election Day.
Positive feedback all the way around. And we don't anticipate it on Election Day, but if for some reason there is, we have a plan in place. Our local authorities are aware of our polling sites.
And some Monroe County political officials like Jamie Romeo, Harry Bronson have recently come out and said that they stand against any acts of voter intimidation that may occur in our community. In Rochester, Erica Koss, News 8.
All right, Eric.